Welcome back to Angels and Bob's Factorio, and taking a look at our furnaces here. I think we're going to be looking at furnaces this episode along with some other things. Furnaces, first of all, appear to be working just fine, apart from that not being hooked up, but we're not going to worry about that. These are working fine. It's producing iron ore. It's heading down here to our furnaces and coming back up. We're producing steel and iron. Both of those are backed up. But you can see the copper line. Well, the copper line isn't producing all that much, and that is horrible. That's our input for copper. The reason why that's low is if you have a look right down here, patch of saffrite is awfully dwindling. It's below 20,000 now. Now we do have a warehouse up here. It's got 60k copper plates in it, so that's acting as kind of our buffer. However, I think we need to improve that. So first thing we're going to do is just take a blueprint, and we're going to take a blueprint. I think I've already taken one. Yes, I have. I've taken a blueprint of this. So there it is. Yep, see, overlaps. So we're going to do that same thing over here now that we're in the bot phase of the factory. And let's see if this will actually fit. It may do. That looks like it'll fit. Yep, the bots say yes. We've got a couple of rubber ports out here, so the bots should be able to reach us. Whether they'll have everything in stock is another thing. So if I press L, you'll be able to see what everything the logistic network has in it. So it's got a bunch of different stuff, and here they come. They're probably going to have all the belts at least, which will just help me not have to place all this manually again. Off they go. Oh, and there we get achievements for this. Good in one way, bad in another. Okay, off they go. Oh, so satisfying when they do that. So satisfying. In any case, however, they probably won't have the sorting machines, it looks like. So let's see if we can get the sorting machines. Have I got them in my inventory? Let's take a quick look. Sort. Are they level 1 or level 2? Mark 2s. Okay, and these are also Mark 2s, but it will have got that already. So sorting, and 3 of those. Oh, I've already got them. Never mind. Let's just cancel. There we go. They were just in my inventory. Make sure I fit these in exactly the right place. One there, and one here. Now we are going to be doing a different process because obviously it's not iron ore that we want. It's copper ore. So we're going to need, I think, this crushed steratides, or where are you? I just want copper, pure copper. There we go. Copy and paste that out. And then we're going to have to use different materials. We're going to need steratite still, and I'm going to need some warehouses. So let's just put those in place. I think that's there, and here. And everything is when I want power. But I've got a large pole here, so just one pole should sort the power out, I think. I'm just going to go this way just to make sure everything is neatly. Oh, really? Fine. Oh no, I don't want it there. Okay, and it probably can't power the rest because it doesn't have any. Okay, so let's just get a storage chest. It doesn't have any of the ingredients in the system that's remaining. So if we have a look down here, you can see the things that it wants. You can just put those into a box that the network has if you want to be lazy like me. So let's just put some storage boxes here. And it's going to want some power poles. That's fine. Let's just actually... Yep, so it's going to go and grab those. It's going to want some chests, some lamps. Not urgent that we make lamps, but why not? Couple of crushers, which we may already have in our inventory, or maybe not. Crush. It'll be the Mark 3s, if anything. Don't appear to have them. Okay. And a rubber port and an assembly machine. Fine, that's going to be straightforward. So, lamps. Crushers, are they ready yet? No, they're not ready. Yellow assembling machine. I'm going to do this off camera. 1 second. And there we go, much better. Everything's laid out and it's nicely aligned with the first one-ish. It doesn't have to be exact. I'll fix exactness when we have a much greater amount of bots and resources. In any case, we're going to be using 2 different resources here than the one we've got. We're going to need Crotinium and Saphirite, I think. So this is close enough to the blue stuff that we can just choose that. We want, sorry, Stereotype, not Saphirite. I keep on saying the wrong thing. Let's just change that over as well. So we're going to want Crotinium, and that is that sorted. Then we'll need to update all of these, won't we? So Crotinium is going to be down here somewhere. Let's just Crotinium, a crushed version, and we can update those. Why are there only 3 there? I did it the same on this side as well. Okay, never mind. There we go. And that should be pretty much set up now. We've got everything that's pretty much the same. We will get copper coming down on this line here. So I'll just extend that down a little bit more with the thing going the right way, just so I know which one's the output. And the input, we're going to need mineral catalysts or whatever they're called on this line. So we'll be able to just run a splitter there and run it over and in. That means, of course, we're going to have a train coming in here that's going to have Crotinium, and it's going to have Stereotype. And let's look at the map for a second. The map, well, I was kind of hoping for some other source of Stereotype other than, you know, this whatever's left down here somewhere. There. 17,000. But if you have a look on the map, it isn't quite obvious. There's some Crotinium there. There's some Saphirite all the way down at the bottom. So Crotinium, Rubite. Is there any Stereotype? I don't see any yet. So we're going to have to leave the radars trying to find it. Yeah, I don't see any. And if I miss some, then I apologize, but I just don't see any on my screen. So, that's slightly annoying. We could, however, put Crotinium into those warehouses. There'd be no problem with that. I've done an outpost before, so I'm not going to show another one again. But what I will do is just say that we can grab... Depends where the Stereotype is. If it's up here, I'd probably grab this one. But because there's just quite a lot of water around there, it's probably easier for us to grab this and bring it up and around, crossing over this track here, and we'll put signals in, and straight into this bay here, this train station. And that will get us going for the Crotinium side of things. It will not, however, solve our Stereotype problems. Very annoying, but I'm sure the radars will sort it. Maybe I should put in more radars and get them to survey things. They're surveying right there at the moment, which is too close in. We need to go much further out to find some resources. So while it's finding that, we've got plenty of we've got plenty of copper in that buffer. Remember, let's go and have a look at another system. Now, you may, if you're looking at my C block series, you may know that I have got. I'm currently around the point of electrolyzer upgrades. And we're going to do the same in this one, but I've not shown it on camera because, again, it's in the other series. Maybe you're watching both, and it's going to be quite straightforward. So you'll see over here on the right-hand side, there's this bank of 10 Electrolyzer Mark IIs. Okay, and these are all taking water from that tiny little pond there, straight into this, and out the other side is just slag and nothing but. Then on this side, we're choosing an input priority of, we should be actually the other input priority. What we want is to take the slag from this one first, because this is coming from our other industrial processes. It doesn't matter if this backs up whatsoever. There's nothing relying on it, I should say. This, however, may block up other processes if we don't use it. So we have a warehouse that is acting as a buffer for stuff coming in. And then we'll use that first before anything else. And that goes straight into here, produces slag slurry by a fair amount. And that goes into that that section of 2 and this section of 2. I should probably consolidate those into an array It'll be much more efficient if I did that, but I've not done it just yet. And then over here, we've got the crystallizers. So on the inputs, we've got mineral sludge, which is coming out of this array of 4 things. And over here, you'll notice we've got 2. We've got this one is producing gold and tungsten. This one, however, is producing silver and rutile. Rutile is titanium ore. So we should think about getting titanium set up, because that is also one of the things that we're going to need to progress further. So it's all going into here, and coming out of that, we've just got filter inserters providing titanium ore to the network, just like it's providing gold ore, and we're actually using the gold ore down here for this kind of circuit system that we set up. I think it was last episode, on the one before. Ooh, that's not good. That's out of that is out of fuel. Yeah, there we go. You won't need fuel yet, but you will soon. So we've got aluminium, or at least this was the aluminium setup. Gold is currently being produced. There it goes. So we should probably start thinking about setting up the same thing for, again, aluminium, and moving this gold again to a parallel setup or something like that. And then, of course, thinking about titanium. Now, titanium is a little bit of a weird one. It's not like just regular ores. Let's just look up titanium, shall we? There we go. Titanium plate is what we may want to get to. We're going to go through molten and titanium, which is normal. Titanium ingot, which is normal. Titanium sponge. Not so normal, as it turns out. So this is the input to our furnace system. So if we produce something like this, that's perfectly fine. But we're going to need another input first. Titanium sponge. There's only one way to make it. In fact, there's another way to make ingots. You can use titanium pellets, but that needs processed titanium through titanium ore. Needs advanced titanium smelting, 2 and 3. Is it easier to go this way? Titanium sponge, yes. We've already got that, so we can start off with this. Titanium tetrachloride. Okay, so now we need chlorine, carbon, and titanium ore. Now, we have carbon right there. That's kind of handy, I think. Is that carbon? Let's see what it's feeding in. You carbon? You are carbon. Good. So we have carbon. We have the ore relatively nearby. So what was the final ingredient we need? Was it chlorine? Titanium sponge? Chlorine gas. Now, where do we have chlorine? Oh. Yeah. So, as it turns out, we've got stuff quite nearby. So it may be worthwhile us thinking about sort of trying to rework this system a little bit in this episode. So why don't I go and make some blast furnaces, and then we'll see what we can arrange. Okay, so I've reworked the gold system just to go vertical instead of just all over the place, and remove the first blast furnace from that. So let's just put another couple of storage boxes over here. And I'm just going to put my various, I don't know, strand casting machine, blast furnace, etc. And then we're going to, again, just use a blueprint system, see if we can actually reproduce this system in any good fashion. So let's just take all of that, I want to say. Yeah, all of that. And we'll take that and see if we can duplicate it. Now, the aluminium and the titanium, I think, need an extra blast furnace step. So we can't just copy paste it like here, like this. Unfortunately, that it needs a further process. So it has to go pretty much there. That might be a little bit too... It doesn't tile particularly well. And... it's just a larger machine, isn't it? So there's no way I'm going to be able to get that done anyway. So we can ignore it. We can't. There's that water pipe in the way up there. So let's actually give it a bit more room and give us room to work. Now, if we do this second one, it's going to be aluminium. So it's going to have to be here, and that looks perfectly reasonable as far as everything else is concerned. Maybe I may have to have more room for this, but that's okay. Let's give it a go, and let's see if that works. Are you going to build? Come on, bots. I know you can build. You're just going to recharge? Ah, there goes one. Okay, so titanium first of all. No, not titanium, I'm sorry, aluminium, because we have our aluminium input line down here. So being able to do that is straightforward. Aluminium, and we can't do that until it's constructed. I don't think I've actually made more casting machines. We should probably think about making more of those. A couple more at least. And this is why I said maybe, because we need this other step here. I don't think there's quite enough room, but it's okay if not. We can always get them to rip it down and then replace it. In fact, yeah, I think we will. Let's just grab all of you and just take all of you out, including that. And then we'll replace it once they are done. Oh, I didn't say the blueprint, did I? Okay, let's just copy that again. And we'll probably save it this time. Let's take everything from there. And let's save it in here, just so we've got it to refer to if we need it back in future. And now I need to make sure that that is where I put things. And that will be fine. We're going to need an extra blast furnace. Oh, not casting machine, a blast furnace. Now let's make a Mark II. And we'll put it right here. And we should be able to feed in with an inserter. Once we give it a bit of power. Then it just needs that other blast furnace fitting. That, I think, is everything aside from fuel, which we'll sort out in a minute. We'll send some fuel going this way. Another good thing, a reason why we have a split there for that. In fact, we can sort that out while they're building everything else. So let's just put it... That's slightly annoying. Yeah, let's put it here. So we want a splitter. And go underground. And then we're probably going to want to go back on ourselves. So let's do it here while we can. Back underground. And then all of this should be ready. All of this blast furnace we're about to fit here may need even more. Let's have a look. And am I off by one again? Yeah, it doesn't matter. I'll fix it later. So this was alumina. Yeah, and that will be coming from aluminium hydroxide, so we can put that right there. And again, this doesn't, yeah, it's going to need, I'm going to need some other, I can get the chlorine from further down, that's fine. Let's just go underground here instead. There we go, that's fed with power, and we'll do the same thing there. And then it just needs some other power poles, which I happen to have on me, so that's not a problem at all. And a casting machine, which we already have. There we go. And you're going to be not casting gold, you're going to be casting aluminium. That's all set up, apart from this aluminium. Oh yeah, because I've placed it again. That's why. There we go. All right, so this is also going to need chlorine, so we're going to probably need to just stretch this down here and feed in chlorine into the various lines here. So this one is going to require... Is any of these going to require it? No. No chlorine line needed on that one, so that can be removed. Then we're going to have gold. So we're going to have, sorry, gold, aluminium. Next thing we're going to have is titanium. And we're going to need to move this, I think. So let's tell them to deconstruct and reconstruct, I think. Let me just take a blueprint of it and make sure I copy it first. That will do. And I'm not going to put it in a specific book or anything. These are largely just temporary things. I'm just going to just erase that, thank you. And in fact, let me just grab all of you first. Off they go. No, you couldn't have more carry capacity than that. Oh, income another batch. All right, and they should have more capacity, so we can move them elsewhere. just as long as we're on the same maybe vertical. So if we move this all the way up here, the box will have to travel a little bit further, but we should have the room we need for everything else. And I'm just going to make some more power poles because we're going to need to hook everything back up together. That will do fine because those boxes will just provide it straight back to the bot network. And Indicum here, of course, they're bringing the contents of these boxes as well, which is why they're taking a little bit longer than you might expect. And that is one of my miscellaneous Soren chests. They're deconstructing that as well, so that's no problem. And then we're going to have to, I just want to build another one of these. Now, I think it's just one step. So we're going to have to avoid that water pipe again. That's annoying. But it won't be too much of a problem. You can just move sideways. Yeah, that will do. Once they've finished constructing the rest of that. Or deconstructing, I should say. They're just hauling all of these superior circuit boards back into the storage for the logistic network. And then we need to look at that titanium again. So molten titanium, titanium ingots, titanium sponge. So titanium sponge will be the input for this one. This is going to output titanium ingots, isn't it? So sponge is going to be created by this block here. So we need to feed in titanium tetrachloride into it, which means we need a chemical furnace before this blast furnace. Okay, maybe we've run out of room again. Yeah, we can move the whole thing up. Can we just cancel this before they get to it? Yeah, we can. Is there any way to actually explicitly tell them to stop trying to construct something, by the way? That'd be kind of useful. You know, if there's crosses, is there a key to cancel the deconstruction? If not, then there should be. Let's just get you out of the way. And I'm going to replace that, but allowing for 2 blast furnaces down here. So we're going to arrange it further up. Okay, everything's laid out backwards. Well, we're about to lay it out backwards. So from here, it's 2 chemical furnaces, I assume. I think so. So let's go backwards. We need the sponges first. Yep, there we go. And from that, we're going to need the, excuse me, titanium tetrachloride. It's going to need titanium ore and chlorine gas. And we already have the carbon. So if I just rework this to go like that, that will work. And we'll be able to get the carbon we actually want here. So let's just put in an inserter. You will feed just fine. And then we're going to want a requester. Do I already have a requester? Yeah, I do already have one. So let's just put it here as well. And something like this. That should work fine. And here is where we want the titanium ore. It's the purplish stuff. There we go. And that should pull in everything we currently have over from the sludge manufacturing over there. And then we just need chlorine. So let's just rotate that around so we can get chlorine. Ooh, what does this actually produce? Extra. Titanium tetrachloride. No, that should just need chlorine. Is that a different recipe? No. It says it has an output. But that's slightly odd. It doesn't tell me that that output is in here. Which is somewhat annoying. However, let's see if that's truly the case. Oh, sorry, yeah. Ha, I'm being stupid. Titanium tetrachloride is the output, so we can just directly connect... Oh, sometimes, you know. We can just directly connect them. In fact, we can move this up by 1 and save 1 room if we wanted to. Not that we need to just yet. And then we just need a chlorine input, so let's just make room. Why is... Oh, it's running the other way. Yeah, let's just get that right. There we go. And then we have chlorine here, so we just need to get it to this area. And that should be really rather straightforward. So we should just go this way. Ah, one short. Never mind. 1, 2, and we have chlorine. That's going to produce the output here. That should produce tetrachloride. Yeah, there we go. So it's making sponges. Sponges should go into ingots. Ingots into molten. Molten into titanium. And then we have titanium plate in our logistic network. So you'll see on each of these I've put an extra stone pipe because we should be able to put more casting machines. The reality of the situation is, though, that this sludge manufacturing or mineral sludge manufacturing is not terribly fast. Unless we need this in bulk, it will produce some stuff for us, but not a great amount. So these two are doing gold. This one, we could set this to doing rutile as well. And then this one, I guess we could get to do aluminium maybe. Is any aluminium? That looks like the aluminium one. And it doesn't matter because these are all being put into a mixed warehouse over here. And instead of fussing around with filter inserters, we're just saying, hey, look, just take this like here, and we're just going to set this to aluminium ore. And anytime anything comes into this, you'll see it's jumbled at the moment. It's just going to take the aluminium ore, provide it to the network, which of course the requesters down here at the bottom are now going to fulfill. Each of them will have the relevant plates available to the network. Is that circuit setup still going? Is that going to work? Let me just put a lamp in here so we can see. It looks like it's still working just fine. Yeah, we moved it, and the bots are still providing everything they need to. There is our first molten. I think. Yeah, it's. Oh, I need to rotate this. That makes it work better. There we go. We've got titanium. So there's plenty of stuff we can make with titanium. Probably the Mark IIIs in a lot of machines. One of the things I just want to check, what does the crystallizer Mark II take? Yep, that was why I wanted to do this episode. Remember that sludge setup isn't very good at it. Well, this improves them, so we need to use less crystallizers, which is a good thing. But also, let's just take a look at the precursor. The bottleneck is this system here, the filtration units. Can we make those right now? Filtration unit Mark IIs. That also needs titanium, which of course we've now got. So we've got filtrations, we've got electronic logic boards, we've got titanium. We need reinforced concrete brick. That may be another episode, but let's just check. Let's just check what it is. Reinforced concrete brick. Can we make it from clay bricks, please? Just you know, mash them up a bit, and steel and concrete, and that's the only way to make it. And we need cement processing 3. Let's make sure we have that on the go. Cement processing 2 is all we have. That makes concrete brick on concrete. Concrete would actually be quite good for walking speed, as you can see, 140%. Not sure if it's any faster. If you know in the comments, please do let me know if there's any faster than concrete, because at some point we'll probably want to do that. So let's start that processing. In any case, we need concrete and steel. Steel we've got, that's fine. Slag we know we can get. Cement, slag and water we already have up here, over here, near where this slag production is. There's also water right there, so we could start it here if we could make cement. Cement's going to take silicon and lime. Now, we have washing plants, but they're not near. So I think we should robot... yeah, I think we should bot in the lime. And we have silicon here. We have quite a lot of silicon here, in fact. This is... where did they even come from? That's the output. Where did the input come from? Oh, I used to have something here. I removed it. Yeah, it was producing 2 sets of ores. So we can just produce silicon by other methods. Let's just see if there's anything reasonable. Sapphirite and bobmonium. We can actually do all of that. We can't do the crystal catalyst yet. I'll probably do that next episode as well. It's very, very useful. Crushed bobmonium, that's where it must have been from. So crushed bobmonium, we've probably got another warehouse currently doing that because we are processing the bobmonium that we have in our base. There it is, you see the red stuff. This is going into here. And what are we doing with it? We're getting lead out of it. In fact, hang on, is that the rubyite? That's a rubyite. Rubite. My mistake. Where's the ammonium gone? Can't see the wood for the trees. That's always the problem, the larger the base gets, and the more we need to structure things. There it is. I am blind. It's going straight down here, and we are feeding that into this line, which is going down here, and we are just warehousing it. Or warehousing a lot of it. So we could also bot that up as well and bring that up all the way up here. But we've got a steady supply. We may as well use this warehouse up here up first. And then from that, we will we'll start processing cement. So next episode, probably concrete. And ideally get some walkways in. I've already started removing belts. You may notice, or you may not have noticed, but this is getting pretty... Oh, let's just start you. This is getting cleared up now that we have a lot less infrastructure needed. Some things I replaced with bots between the episodes. Some lines I've cleaned up, some of the belts. That's going to continue to happen. This is going to start clearing up, and then we'll start putting in sort of separate processing areas, and everything will start looking a lot neater when we do that. Especially now we have access to construction bots. It becomes so much easier. You know, I can just reproduce that entire block if we've got enough stuff in the network to build it. So, we're still okay on power. I think that will end it for this episode. If you like the episode, feel free to like, subscribe, and share as normal. And next episode, we'll carry on with concrete and get that up and running so that we can upgrade all of these and maybe even move those into an array. You know, we can just use a dedicated machine with a loop going forwards and back. I've done that in the C block, so I probably won't do that on camera. But that may well let us produce a lot more of this mineral sludge, which will in turn let us create lots of miscellaneous ores we might have a small need for. And if you have a large need for, well, we're going to need a train system, which is why I need those radars to work faster. I think I'm going to put in more radars. And they're complaining about various bits they can't build. You know, they're just missing 3 power poles. Fine. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.